And finally, Mark Taylor-Canfield, you've only been holding on for 2 hours.
Hey, Mike, I don't mind listening to you on my mobile device.
Oh, okay.
I can sort of run my errands and, talk to the shopkeeper.
Well, Mark? Oh, no. Where did he go? No, that hang-up came from his end. Oh, my God! There, see if that's Mark. Yeah, it is? Okay. Wouldn't that have been funny, Mark?
Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. You disappeared there for a moment.
I don't know what happened. I heard it sounded like a voicemail beep or something, and then all of a sudden I lost it.
No, the NSA will do that to us every once in a while.
Well, I've only been listening for like 2 hours, so...
I'm hip.
But, no, it's great. Like I was saying, I enjoy listening to you on my mobile device. I think that's one of the things that people really like about media these days. And, of course, originally I called you to talk about Kshama Sawant, our new Socialist City Council member in Seattle.
Right.
PhD at North Carolina State University.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we talked about it. That's my old alma mater. Yeah!
Go. Yeah, so she's a very intelligent woman. She's a teacher at Seattle Central Community College, and really admired by her students.
Right.
So, but she's become an international phenomenon, and it's just blowing, I guess I've become a cynical journalist, right? It kind of blew my mind, but as far as the political consultants are concerned, this is completely unprecedented that a socialist could win any kind of political election in a major city in the United States. So
right.
Compelling. It's a compelling story. It's very historic and unprecedented. And I think that, this one newspaper in India who actually, sent, I think, reporters to her inauguration address because there was media from all over the world there. They actually, are talking to me about maybe writing about her for that newspaper because the whole world is really interested in what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
To get down to brass tacks, when she spoke, it actually brought some people to tears because they had never heard a politician speak up for the working class that way. It was just amazing.
Yeah, and what's really amazing to me is the fact that her speaking up for the working class was if not unique, so unusual as to generate all of this conversation. That's the part that just staggers me.
Well, she has already pushed a lot of the other candidates into referring to things like the $15 an hour minimum wage.
Right.
And all sorts of issues like police accountability, which they wouldn't have touched otherwise. And even though Seattle is a very, very progressive town where, and Washington State in general, where, same-sex marriage is legal and recreational
right
is legal, there are serious corporate political power centers in Seattle. The headquarters for places like Boeing and Microsoft, Google, Amazon. So she's up against some really serious corporate people. But she said, by the way, the cover article on the Seattle Times was Kshama Sawant raises fist during the inauguration ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
He said right up front, there will be no backroom deal. And the entire place just exploded in applause and hoots and hollers because she had folks on every level. By the way, they had to hold the inauguration ceremony in the City Hall lobby, which is a huge, huge area.
Yeah, I read that. I read that someplace. And what I'm looking to see what happens here, Mark, is when the corporate structure in Seattle finally, seriously, head-on clashes with her politics. I'll be curious to see how that comes out. I hope that by the time that does happen, and I think the corporate culture in Seattle is already preparing on how to deal with her, but when it happens, I would hope that the people of Seattle will stand behind her and her influence on the city council. I hope that happens.
Well, honestly, from a very real politics point of view, she may only have one term, but what she can do during that term is stir up the political scene,
right,
get a lot of these issues attention. And the fact that she's drawing attention from around the world, I think, makes it a little less likely that they're going to go after her directly.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle politics is a very passive-aggressive affair where people...
It is. I've noticed that. But I would hope that there would be other potential candidates in Seattle now who will take a look at her success and say, you know, I can do this too on city council and build from there.
But I also wanted to let you know that I spent most of the month of December in the studio recording music with a band project.
Oh, yeah?
And I also finished a detective novel set in Seattle circa 1947. I've been watching a lot of film noir, you know, Raymond Chandler and all that.
Right.
So I thought you might be interested in that because it's definitely a tribute to the genre of the gumshoe, except a sort of Northwest version.
Mm-hmm.
We even recorded part of a chapter as a radio-style sort of radio play in homage to all the old radio theater, and that was inspired actually by by your Gumshoe series. So I appreciate.
Well, you know, again, the Gumshoe series was written and produced. All of that came from the genius of Bob Alexander. What we did here was provide, the voices, the actors, as in the old radio style plays where you had. You had your actors who would stand there with the special effects and so on and so forth. But every one of those scripts was, it was based on the old film noir genre of movies, which is one of Bob Alexander's favorites because he used to work in Hollywood. He used to be a producer of, as he puts it, B- movies. But that's where all that came from. I just want to make sure that credit goes where credit is due. Mark, we're just flat out of